All right, so thank you for tuning in to the Boss Women Network podcast. We are back for another great episode. I am Leilani, your host, and today we have Miss Colleen Gigante here today. Miss Gigante, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, what's the name of your business?
I'm a licensed psychotherapist, and my business is called My Metamorphosis, and I basically help heal people for a living. I have learned, actually, it's a gift. I would say it's a gift. That's a blessing to alchemize light from darkness, to alchemize abuse into power.
So what is your definition of alchemize for those that don't know what that means?
So what I do and what I've been doing for, I don't know, I guess since I was a child even, is I am able to basically reach into somebody's trauma, into somebody's pain, and be able to pull it out, deconstruct it, and create light and beauty from it.
So how does your business reflect your mission?
Well, part of what I do, my passion is helping others. So helping anybody at this point in time dealing with trauma. Trauma is one of my specialties.
Okay.
And that's the reason why. And I guess you'd have to know my life story to actually understand why this is the way it is. I've been through just ever since my first breath, basically, I've been riddled with trauma, abuse, and pain. Came out that way somehow or another.
Oh.
And I have been able to turn all of that into power, into light, into love, into forgiveness. And it's a great blessing. It's a great blessing that I've been given from God. And because of that, I am now able to actually do the same thing for others and help them, empower them to be able to see this light from darkness, to help them understand that even though it seems like the worst thing in the world that may be happening at that moment, it's actually happening for us. It's actually protection. That's a hard thing to understand at the moment. I get that. I completely understand that. I was in a car accident. I couldn't walk for 2 years.
Wow.
Trust me, there was no way that I was thinking that was the best thing that could happen to me.
Wow.
But it ended up getting me away from a very abusive husband who was actually put in jail, put in prison for allegedly murdering his second wife.
Oh my God. That was before you or after you?
No, his second wife was after me. I was his first.
Oh, you were the first. Okay.
Yeah. And
wow.
It was the car accident that got me away from him.
So you said that you didn't choose this work, the work chose you. Was this the divine moment that made you realize this was the career path you were going in?
I don't know if this was the divine moment. There's been a lot in my life that has happened. I've been the black sheep of the family, ostracized from everybody else all my life, never really fit in anywhere. And that's a hard place to be. That's a hard place to be. So you have to, I very young, at a very young age, I was grateful because my grandmother, my mom, lived with us until I was 18. And she was my light. She was my light. My sister was the apple of my dad's eye, and my little brother was, my mom literally called him the sun, because not because he was the son, like daughter son, but because the sun. He was the sun. He shined light on everything for everyone.
You're the middle child.
I am the middle child.
I wonder if that's a middle child thing, because I too experienced the feeling of not fitting in anywhere and not fitting in with the family and just being, I wonder if that's a middle child thing.
I believe that it is, actually. I fully believe that it is. It's very difficult. It's almost, for instance, let's take a circle. Okay, let's take a circle. And if you cut it in half, there's two halves and they equal each other. But then if you have a middle, that middle always gets the smallest piece. It always gets the smallest piece. And I don't think that actually is a bad thing anymore. I used to think it was the worst thing. I used to think the middle child, oh, I go through so much, nobody loves me, everybody hates me. In fact, in my home, they used to sing a song whenever I was around because I used to be so sad and so depressed. And it was, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it or not, but it's called Going in the Garden Eating Worms.
No, I never heard of that.
So it's this little nursery rhyme, like about this little kid who basically was always sad, is always depressed. And so they used to be like, oh, there's Colleen going in the garden eating worms, because it always seemed as if I was the one that was always sad. I was the one that always was crying. I was the one that always felt left out. And the truth of the matter is, I was being left out. I was being left out. I was always a child who always wanted to help others. Another nickname my mom used to say to me all the time whenever I'd come into the house is, "Oh, here comes Saint Catherine. What life did you save today?" As if it
Oh,
were.
save Catherine. I thought you said Satan Catherine. I'm like, what? Oh, you said
Oh
save,
no, no,
save Captain. Okay, okay.
Saint Catherine.
Saint Catherine. Okay.
Yeah, she might have called me Satan at times as well, to be honest with you. And at times, maybe she was correct. Maybe she was right. I haven't always been the best daughter. I haven't always been the best mom. I haven't even always been the best girlfriend or wife, but I have strived every single day to be better. And I have learned within a lot of that darkness, a lot of that depression, that God's got me. I just
Right.
need to have faith. I just need to believe. I was diagnosed 5 years ago with stage 4 kidney failure.
What?
Almost died 4 times last year in the hospital from septic shock. And
Wow.
here's the plot twist: I'm cured.
How did you cure yourself?
I didn't. I
Really?
didn't. 5 years ago, I was told I need to do everything completely different. I need to change my entire lifestyle. I need to get rid of basically every negative energy, everything bad in my life, and start like fresh. And so I did. And what I started was, first, I started the plant-based nutrition. And that has saved my life twice now. I don't know if, am I allowed to say it on here?
What? Say what?
The
Curse?
nutrition?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So it's called isogenics.
Okay.
And it has literally saved my life twice now. Twice. So I started that. And then after starting that, I started a transformational group, basically. That was amazing. That was amazing. Even did hypnotherapy. And then months later, started getting rid of toxic things in my life, toxic people around me. So it's pretty incredible how all this has happened. Honestly, it's by God.
I believe it. So basically, you were mentally sick, which was
Yes.
causing your body to be sick, having the wrong people around, eating a little bit of the wrong foods, but mainly that mental space was just not in the right place, basically.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mm.
And when I say that this profession chose me, it's because a lot of people say I am a marketer, or I am a person who is a nurse or something of that nature. And I say I'm me. I say I'm me. And I'm me. So this profession chose me because this is the best way for me to help other people, which is
Mm.
all I've ever wanted to do in my life. I was just drowning in my own darkness, and it was very hard for me to see the light. I believe God literally put me through a boot camp
Mm.
of darkness and of sorrow and of pain, so that I could then alchemize my own abuse and my own pain and my own agony into something bright and beautiful that I could then help others. Because when somebody tells me about their trauma, I not only hear them talk about it, but I feel it.
You can
I
feel it.
feel their energy. It's incredible.
And so when you feel it, you can also feel the direction they need to go with it in order to heal.
Yes. So I literally deconstruct it. I pull it out, I deconstruct it, and we work backwards. And by doing that, we find out all of these different, 'cause every look, Anybody who has any kind of mental depression or anxiety or health diagnosis of any kind, I'm sorry, but it all stems from childhood. Everybody has been hurt at some point in their life where they didn't have the capacity to deal with it.
Mm.
And when that happens, our bodies basically go, okay, the mind can't handle it right now. So we're going to alchemize it into the body. And eventually what happens is we get sick.
Wow. Our mindsets make us sick on the inside.
Yes, ma'am.
Gosh. So I see that you started out as a school teacher and then you got into psychotherapy.
Yes. So actually the car accident, with the car accident that happened, I lost everything. So as a child, even into my adulthood, okay, I was a swimmer. I was a swimmer in high school. I was a runner. I was in the Marine Corps.
I can see it. I can see it. You look so athletic, like you just stay in the gym.
Oh, thank you. Actually, I don't anymore, but thank you. I appreciate that. I all of these things, my physical being became very important to me because that was my out. If I were having a bad day, if something were wrong, I would jump in the pool or I would go running or I would go do something like that. So when I had this car accident, it completely stopped any of that trauma, any of that depression, any of that anxiety or sadness from processing. So at first, I lost my physical part. I couldn't move. I literally couldn't walk for 2 years. I actually had to have my mom get in the shower with me because I couldn't raise my
Oh,
arms but this much.
oh,
And she had to wash my hair. My mouth, because I had TMJ from just the soft tissue damage, my mouth, I couldn't open but like this much. So I had to get shots, literally shots that are this big in both of my cheeks
wow.
every week, just so my mouth will open up so I could eat. For the first year of my daughter's life, I wasn't allowed to pick her up.
Wow.
So the physical part was the first thing that went. But then I lost my job. I was working at the Employment Security Commission where I was helping others find jobs. I was doing workshops for resumes and how to interact and communicate with others. And I lost the job because I couldn't do it. I actually flew out to Florida. I was living in North Carolina at the time. I flew out to Florida and I came here to get a second opinion for because of the injuries of my back because nobody knew what was going on. And basically I was sideswiped by an 18-wheeler carrying a whole bunch of logs and it spun me around and ran me over.
You lucky to be here.
Yes, I know. I've
It's a
had
blessing.
43 nerve blocks.
Wow.
It's been rehab 3 days a week for 2 years.
Did it break any parts of your back or anything like that?
No,
Bones?
I had herniated discs like in my L4 and L5 and C1 and C2. But other than that, no, it was all soft tissue damage.
That's a blessing.
It is a blessing.
So you knew right away you were going to be able to walk again. Literally, I just had a family member go through a car accident and he is unable to walk, but also it did break three places of his back. His back was broken in three places. So we don't even know if he's going to be able to walk. So that is a blessing that you were able to walk again after 2
Nobody,
years.
yeah, no, honestly, Leilani, nobody actually thought that I was actually going to be able to because one of the things they said to me is we can't do surgery on you because there's nothing broken.
Oh,
They're like, we can't do surgery on you. There's nothing broken. The only thing we can completely do for you is to give you these nerve blocks. They even did at one point in time what's called RFA, and they burnt the entire side, the entire left side of where my butt is, the side of my butt. They burnt all the nerves. They
really?
burnt all the nerves. And so that way they burned them off so that I would feel no more pain. And then the nerves regenerated back. And when that happened, I was healing. And it's all a miracle. Honestly, it's all
It's
divine intervention.
definitely, definitely. So basically, is that what helped you forget about all the stuff you went through in the past that was making you depressed and affecting you emotionally and making you sick? Because after you went through that, it was like a healing process, and you were like, I'm living. All that stuff is not irrelevant. I'm thankful to be here. Is that what it was?
Yes, yes. But first and foremost, I had to really go through the depths of hell. As I said, first it was physical, then it was financial, then it became emotional, because obviously emotionally my mind, I didn't know what I was going to do. I had no
Right.
idea what was going to
That's a
happen.
lot.
Then it became spiritual. God, why are you doing this to me? If you were real, this would not be happening to me. It became so much. And it even became intellectual, because here I am, I'm stuck in a house with just my parents and my child, and I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not interacting with anybody, because I could barely talk as it was, because my mouth
Right.
would open, but so much. So I almost went back to like birth. I had to
Mm,
learn how to do every single
everything.
thing all over again. And I'm very grateful and blessed, because my dad was a school teacher at the time. And he told me, he's like, look, he goes, you got your bachelor's degree. Why don't you go and be a substitute teacher? That way, if you need to call out, you can. So if I woke
Right.
up in the morning and I was hurting too bad, I wasn't obligated to go do anything. So I did that. I absolutely fell in love with it during the same time frame, because the accident was in 2000, in March of 2002. My daughter was born in December 20th of 2001. The
Mm.
accident was March of 2002.
What? December 2001, your daughter was born, and you had the accident just a few months later. So you have a newborn almost,
Yes.
basically. Oh my God. I know that had to be hard.
It was so hard. It was so hard. But like I said, divine intervention, because it got me away from a very abusive, extremely abusive situation. But when I started going back and started doing substitute teaching, it was already between 2004, 2005. And I loved it. And then I decided I wanted to become a full-time school teacher. So I did, and got certified and everything. And I was a school teacher in Tampa at multiple different high schools, Hillsborough, Tampa Bay Tech, Lato High School, for 10 years. It was at that time that I realized, through the help of my mentor, who was a school psychologist at that time, that I had a gift with the kids. So it would be like anyone who, let's say there was a child that was not behaving in a certain class, or maybe just was a pain for other teachers, they would take them and put them in my class. They would take them and put them in my class and basically say, hey, look, we know you have so many people here right now, but we're going to go ahead and we want you to have this person in this class with you, because we know that you're going to be the one that's going to be able to help them the most. We know that if they get up and they walk around or something, that you're not going to be the one that's going to tell them to sit down. You're going to be there for them and you're going to help them. And it got to a point where I saw these kids struggle so much that they were my inspiration. That's why I went back and got my master's degree. Because as a
Mm,
school teacher, I can only do so much, and I
right.
wanted to help them more. And so I went and got my master's degree. That was challenging at best, because I was also, at that point in time, I was also married, or got married during that time frame. And that relationship didn't end very well either. And I believe God put a lot of people in my life for many reasons,
Right.
including to help build me up, to help me
Did you,
realize my power.
and I believe that everything happens for a reason. Did you read that book, The Alchemist or something? Because you talk about that.
Actually, I didn't.
You
I
didn't read
didn't.
the book, The Alchemist. Oh,
No.
okay. That book is about that. Like everything, every experience, every person, every situation is specifically to teach you something, and everything happens for a reason, to take you and lead you to your journey or your
Every
path in life.
honestly, to be completely honest with you and transparent, everything, all the messages that I get are literally from God. They're from God and my angels. And I think it's from so many hours and hours of crying and praying and wanting to do better and wanting to help other people that God just said, okay, we hear you. We're here for
Mhm.
you. We want to help you. And I've always been an empath. That's never been a question, which is why most empaths, and I'm sure you're one as well.
Yes, you could tell, huh?
Yes, ma'am. I feel your energy. That's one of my gifts, actually, is to feel other people's energy. It's
Mhm.
strange. People can actually just text me messages and I can already say, I feel your sadness. Like
Wow.
it's absolutely, it's incredible. It's incredible. It's amazing. And I love the fact that I get to help people every day. I get messages every single day from my stories and from people who see me on social media who are like, I was in an abusive relationship and I leave my house every day. And first thing I do is listen to your story because it gives me
Oh,
strength. Or I'll do a story on forgiveness and I'll get a message from somebody who will say, hey, because of your story the other day, I went and I forgave my sister of 10 years because of X, Y, and Z.
wow.
It's, it touches my heart in so many beautiful ways. I can't even begin to tell you.
I can
I,
imagine.
I'm just, I'm overjoyed. I'm overjoyed. And that is why one of the biggest reasons why I would never, ever change anything in my life. Never. Because it's brought me to a point where I was so desperate, where I was in such pain and agony, literally dying, that I had no one to turn to but God. And He literally put me up on His shoulders and carried me. My favorite prayer when I was younger and now, and I always had it everywhere I went, including in the Marine Corps and in the barracks, I had it up on the wall. It was footprints in the sand. I'm going to be honest with you. I am a true testimony to footprints in the sand because He has carried me throughout my entire life.
I can see it. I can feel it in your spirit as well. That has
It's
definitely been your testimony.
it
What
is amazing.
what kind of strategies do you use to help others going through trauma and dealing with life situations?
So going back to when I was diagnosed with stage 5 or stage 4 kidney failure, I was, so to give you an idea of what I mean by stage 4 kidney failure, it's something called GFR. It's a global filtration. That's a, yeah, global filtration of the kidneys. I was at a 23%.
Ooh, that's a very low percentage.
Yes. This is when I was first diagnosed. 15% is normally the time where they start looking at dialysis.
Oh, goodness, you were close.
I was extremely close. And the doctor, actually, my nephrologist actually said to me, look, we're not going to let you be on dialysis. You need to change every single thing in your life. And it was during that time frame that I literally had to transform my own life. And the way I did it is I took a process where I used 3 pillars of a person's value system. I started with my own. And what I did is I took the 3 things in my life that meant the most to me, that I knew was part of my makeup, part of my character. And I looked at all of them and I said, okay, where am I right now? Where do I want to be? And why am I not there yet? And I went through and I deconstructed all of it. I brought up so much shadow at work. I brought up so much darkness. I brought up so many childhood fears and pre-programming that were inside of me that I never even realized was there. And I learned how to basically transform myself. And I'm happy to say there's evidence-based because I've done it now with others.
Wow.
And they've all transformed. One woman, she went from being a personal secretary, a personal assistant, to owning her own business. We actually found out during the process of working with her that she would literally cry every time when her boss would talk to her. And she was like, I don't know why. I've been with this man for 23 years. Why is this making me feel this way? And what we ended up finding out in the process of all this, which was incredible, is that it was as if it was a childhood trauma of hers because of the way her dad talked to her.
Oh, okay.
But
It was
she never
triggering.
put it. Yes, exactly. It's a trigger. But she never put it together. The two never, she never understood the relationship between the two. And it wasn't until we started actually diving into things and I started asking very poignant questions about her past that she finally started saying, oh yeah, that's right, this happened. Or, oh, that tone made me think of when he used to do this to me. There were other people in the process who had major anxiety, couldn't even go to the mailbox at her condo because she was afraid that there's going to be people around and she'd have to talk to them.
Oh, wow. She was really going through it.
She was going through it so bad. And she's such a sweet girl, such a sweet girl. And I'm so proud to say that she right now, in fact, I talked to her the other day. She actually told me the other day that she was somewhere where she could feel other people's anxiety and energies. And
Really?
yes,
You help
and
people connect with that as well?
yes,
Wow.
yes, it all comes through. We don't know what anybody has been through in their life until we actually sit down and listen to them. And that's the number one thing that humankind literally lacks these days is listening. Everybody wants to say what they want to say. Everybody has, instead of listening to somebody talk, they're always waiting for what they want to say next. And so healthy communication is so important. It's so very important. And the other thing is I do it and I'm a very big proponent in giving people a very safe place. Probably because I feel like I haven't had one all my life. And I know how much I ached for it. I know how much I craved it. So for me, it's extremely important to give it to others. And one of the things that I like to do, and I tell people, all my clients, in fact, is look, there's no judgment and no blame. I don't care what you did yesterday. I don't care if you went out and you drank the entire bar. I don't care if you cheated on a test. I don't care what you did. None of that is for me to deal with. I'd have these little kids come in, such adorable little kids. Another specialty of mine is ADHD or neurodivergence. I see that as a superpower. And I'm happy to say that most people today are looking at it that way as well, because a lot of people don't understand from the time we're in utero to the time we're like 7 years old, we're in what's called a theta state. And a theta state is where we basically are in a hypnotic state. So everything that we're taught from the time we're basically little kids until 7 years old is pre-programmed. It's a subconscious thought. So we could be 40 years old and have our own business and be powerful and have so much money. And in the back of our mind, we still have this subconscious thought of, I'm not worthy.
It comes from, oh gosh, from way back then.
Yes, yes. And that's why it's so difficult to deal with traumas because it's not just what's happening right now, it's what's happened even as far as in utero. As far as in utero.
Wow.
There's a study that's out, it talks about how when women who are pregnant go through anxiety and depression, and when babies come out, how their heart rate is compared to other babies. A lot of those babies end up being premature as well because they're feeling everything the mom is feeling.
Yeah. Poor babies.
You know what the strange thing is? The strange thing is when I talk to people and I ask them about their childhood, or I ask them about, have you been through any trauma in your life? You know what they all say to me? Literally, no, my childhood was good.
Probably
No,
because that time that you're talking about, we didn't even remember from birth to 7 years old, really. So,
exactly. Exactly. And like I said before, our body takes on a lot of the trauma that our brain can't handle. So
hmm,
for these people in their mind, and I was the same way, everybody's the same way. We give excuses to why things happen so that we don't have to look at the real action. So we don't
right.
have to look at the real behavior, because it's a lot better for me to say, you know what, I was a bad child. I didn't listen. So therefore, my mom didn't love me. Instead of looking
Hmm,
at it and saying, wow, my mom didn't love me. It's much easier to blame ourselves for things than to actually look and say, no, actually, I'm not the one. This
hmm.
person is accountable, because that other person never takes accountability. So when we dive into their past and we dive into different things that happened to them, that's when we start finding out, okay, yeah, this is what it is. And eventually they all are like, oh my God, I never even thought about that. I just thought it was normal. I just thought it was something I had to deal with. I just thought it was like, it was a bump in the road and I just kept
Right.
going. And I'm like, no, sweetheart, no. It's childhood trauma. It's pain. It's hurt. It's everything that you're now dealing with that you weren't able to have the capacity to deal with before.
That is so true. Which makes me have this question for you. Since you say you had problems like with relationships with people, period. You say you never did connect with people. Did you even have friends then when you were younger? Were you able to connect in that way?
Actually, not really.
Okay. Me either. I didn't really have any. I maybe one or two, but
Maybe
not
one or
really.
two, but
Yeah.
there was always, and I bet you're the same, there was always this kind of veil of, I'm just going to be honest, like envy. There was always this veil of envy or jealousy or something else. It's
Yes.
my light shined a lot of light on a lot of people's corners and shadows,
Yes.
and nobody likes that.
That's so true. So tell me, so since you experienced that, and that was some of your issues growing up too, with relationships, how are your relationships now? How are they now? And how do you get people to connect with you today?
It's interesting because I have been through a lot of toxic relationships, very much. I have found out that when you have such a bright light, it's the narcissist. It's the narcissist who want that light. They're the ones who really want that light. And the reason is because a narcissist only wants the best of the best. And when they are, it's so funny. I've dealt with so many couples or so many ex couples who have actually said to me, what do I have? An L on my forehead or something? Or what's going on? Like, how do I attract these people?
Hmm.
And so many people get it wrong because they think that they attract them. But the matter is, it's not so much you attract them, it's a matter that your light shines
Targets
over
them,
them.
huh?
Yes,
Hmm.
yes. And some of that, believe it or not, I fully believe a lot of my relationships I was in to help those people,
Yeah, I believe that.
to give them a chance to be better. But what happens is with the narcissist in these relationships, and like I said, I'm sure you've dealt with this plenty as well. I can feel your energy. I can feel you're very,
Most definitely.
you're a very pure heart, very sweet soul. I can, it's definitely generating.
Thank you. Yeah,
It's beautiful, actually.
thank you.
You're welcome. The narcissist wants the best of the best. So that's what that person is to them, because they're shining a light that narcissist will never, ever have. And so they gain energy from that person and their light just by being next to that person. But what happens is that source in that person, okay, because it's all source, it's all source, it's all God, it's all God.
Right.
That godlike source in that person that creates that light for that person, right? There is love and there's forgiveness. And all of a sudden, this person realizes, wait a second, I'm never going to reach that. I'm never going to get to that light. And when they figure out that they're never going to reach that light, what they do is they then, at that point in time, they then dim
Try to
the
dim
other
your light.
light. And that's what creates the darkness. And that's what creates
Mm,
the sadness and the depression. Oh God, the depression
mm.
so bad. So many nights, so weeks, months even, I've cried myself to sleep.
Oh,
The pain is real.
it is.
The pain is real. And what I found out though is there's so much purpose in pain.
That's true. You actually find your purpose through that pain.
Yep. You find your purpose through that pain. And that's what alchemy is all about, is finding your purpose through that pain.
I just can't believe you haven't read the book. That tells me that you're totally aligned in what you're doing because you haven't even read the book. And that
I'm
book is exactly about what you're talking about.
really, it's funny. My daughter, my 16-year-old actually read the book in school. And my ex-boyfriend actually had the book on his coffee table. Like the whole time we were together, which was about almost 3 years. So he had the whole time he had it on his coffee table. And I don't think ever once was it opened. um,
Wow.
I am very spiritual, but I will be honest and purely genuine. I had a spiritual awakening last year. It was during one of my, I would say it was during one of the times I almost died. Something happened. Something happened and it opened up all of my abilities. It opened up all of my gifts. It created like this whole new world for me. And it was like I was jumping timelines almost. It was talking to my angels, talking to God. It became like every night. Like I broke up with my ex, or we broke up. I would say we broke up in December of last year. And from January, the middle of January until now, I have been on my own. And when I say on my own, I mean I probably have gone out maybe 4 times in this whole time frame. Besides working with my clients and going to church, I don't do anything. I don't have
Mm.
it. My television is right over here on the floor still. I don't even have it hooked up. I haven't
Wow.
watched TV. I haven't done anything. I literally stay up at night. And normally I'm up all night
Me
because
too. Oh my God.
it's the time where God comes and talks to us.
I guess so, because those are the times my brain just won't stop. And I'm just thinking and I'm writing down my thoughts and just
That's
writing away.
manifestation. That's manifestation. That's God's telling you. That's your intuition. That's exactly
Hmm.
what that is. God is putting everything out there for you at that moment so that you can write those things down, because these are all things that He wants you to do. These are all things
Hmm.
that God has put already. Everything happens in the spiritual before it happens in the physical. Everything.
Hmm.
There's a saying, is so above is so below. Like it's a saying.
Hmm.
And if it weren't put in your purview, if it weren't put in your mind to begin with, it wouldn't have already been happening. So what I mean by that is God will not put anything in front of us that he doesn't already know that we're capable of.
I believe that.
I had a friend, I just came back from lunch with a friend, and he said to me, he goes, "Do you really think that I should do this? I'm too old." And I said, "No, you're not." I said,
Never.
"It would not have come to you. The opportunity would not have come to you if it weren't already happening in the spiritual realm."
Wow. Are you intuitive where you can see things in advance?
Yes.
I have that gift, but I'm not able to channel it. Like you may be able to channel your gift. It just comes to me and I can feel things, but and before it happens, maybe see things before it happens, but it has to come to me. Some people are able to just do it. I'm not one of those people that can just say, okay, yeah, this is getting ready to happen for you. I don't know how to do that. So is that something that you trained yourself on as being able to do, or it just came to you naturally like that when you said everything
Came to
just
me
opened up in
naturally.
these gifts?
It just came to me naturally.
Wow.
I started getting on social media. I literally started getting on social media like the middle of January of this year. And it's amazing. I get messages every day from somebody
Wow.
new. And the followers, people, they're out there. There are people out there who are just like you and I. There are also people out there who are connecting with me, who immediately I feel their pain.
Yeah. People think I'm crazy. Do people feel like you're crazy? Do you ever run into those people think you're weird?
People have thought I was crazy and weird all my life. And sweetheart, to be honest with you, I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. I am so genuine and so unapologetic at who I am now that God has brought a fire into me and given me this light. And this light is to help others.
Yes.
And I'm not
Yes.
going to sit quiet anymore about it, because all my life I've been told I'm too much. All my life I've been told to quiet down. All my life I've been told I'm weird. My last relationship, I was born Roman Catholic.
Mm.
I don't practice Roman Catholic. Let me put it out there. I'm Christian, but I don't practice Roman Catholicism. And I became very spiritual. And so I wear a lot of crystals, as you can see. And I was actually told by my boyfriend and his family that she can't be Christian if she's wearing crystals. That's not godlike. And I basically said, how is it that you figure that? Because God made everything, which means
Right.
God made the earth, which means God made the crystals, God made the rocks, God made the moon, God made the stars.
Right.
So don't tell me it's not godlike. Don't tell me I'm not Christian. But that was just one of the things. I'd be in a room with a bunch of people, and because I was just kind, literally just being kind and sincere and loving, I was told I don't have to do so much. I don't have to be so much. And I'm like, but this is just me.
Yeah.
This is just me. I'm not doing it because I have to. I'm not doing it because somebody's telling me to.
This is
I'm
just
doing
who
it
I
because it's what I
am.
feel in my heart.
Yeah.
So, your question, the answer to that question is I don't care. I don't
Mm.
care.
Love it.
It's taken me a long time to get here, though. I'm 53. It's taken me a long time to get here.
You look so
So,
good.
thank you, thank you, thank you. It's the Holy Spirit. I don't know what to say. It's the Holy Spirit. I actually had to do some research on this because I still sometimes get carded at places, and it's funny to me. I'm like, why are you carding me? Like, why? My oldest daughter is 23 and my youngest is 16.
Hmm.
And I had to do some research on this, but there's actually research out there that actually talks about how the chosen, the people who have the Holy Spirit in them, who are chosen, don't age. They age
Oh.
differently than other
Mm.
people
Mm.
because they have that light. They have the Holy Spirit in them.
The only thing I haven't gotten to the point that you've gotten to is where you don't care so far. I'm getting there. Not so much of caring about what people think, but I hate being misunderstood. My intentions are always misunderstood. Even though I'm always meaning well in situations, it's like it's always misunderstood. And
May
I
I?
hate it
Okay. May I ask you, why does that bother you?
because my intentions are always in the right place. So for
Of
what's
course they
so
are.
to be misunderstood is hurtful. Even people take things I say wrong. Sometimes if I see something and I want to, if you ask me for my advice, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you just to make you feel good. I'm going to tell you the
No,
real. If
yes,
you're in, or if you're a part of my circle, I'm going to tell you because how do you grow if I'm not going to tell you? You know what I'm saying? I expect the same on my end. Tell me something I'm doing so I can grow and vice versa. I'm going to tell you. Otherwise, you'll never know and you'll be still doing the same things. That's if this is better for you, but my intentions are always misunderstood. Sometimes it's mistaken for just being maybe jealous or maybe not even being jealous, but just don't want to see the next person win. But my whole everything I'm about, everything I'm doing, everything, even with the Boss Women Network, everything I'm doing is to highlight women and what they're doing
of
in
course it
business.
is.
So
I
even
feel
in
your
that,
heart. You're
e-
so pure. You're so pure. I feel you. I feel
yeah,
you. And everything that you just told me about what you do with others and you tell them, honey, sweetheart, that's love. That's
yeah,
pure love. That's what that is. You know what the problem is? There's two things. There's two things, okay? Honesty is so important in life. And people who don't like honesty don't want to take accountability.
mm,
Their ego will not allow them to be told they're wrong, even if they're wrong. Their ego is what is above that honesty, which means that ego is above God. You can't put anyone above God. So that's one of the things. But the other thing I think that's so important, because you are nothing but pure love and pure intention, I feel it.
I'm so glad because some people don't understand. I think people are so used to people being evil out there that they don't know how to receive a person that's really genuine.
Yes, ma'am. You're exactly right. And I'm going to tell you, I'll tell you a story. My ex-husband, not the one who went to prison. Unfortunately, I've had more. My ex-husband, we actually were married for 2 years and found out he was an alcoholic and a sex addict.
Oh, goodness.
Oh yeah, it's been a road. It's been a road.
Mm.
But he used to come to me and say to me that I was flirting with somebody or that I was cheating on him or something. And I would look at him straight in the face and I would say, now, you know how stupid you sound to even think that I would do something like that ever. My heart
Right.
won't allow that.
Yes, that sounds like something I would say.
I just walked away. I was like, stop being stupid, and walked away. And this is the reason why. Only a person who has something to hide has to argue their point. It's no different than a rose who's beautiful. Okay. A rose doesn't have to walk around telling the world that it's beautiful, it just is. Same thing with somebody who has pure intention. You don't have to walk around telling everybody you have pure intention. You don't have to walk around telling everybody you don't understand, you made a mistake. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. I'm so sorry, but I'm going to be real. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. If you are pure intention, you are pure intention, baby. You don't have to. You do not have to sit there and give anyone any kind of excuse, any kind of anything. Just don't have to. You don't have to explain yourself. And
Mm,
that's something I've learned
mm,
as I've gotten older, really and truly throughout this spiritual awakening is where I've really learned it, because I was the one who always would say, I'm sorry. I was
yeah,
the one that
me
was
too.
always like, oh, I'm sorry, here, you get in front of me. Or, oh, wait, here, I want you to be here. Or, oh, I'm sorry, did I hurt your feelings? I didn't mean
Yes.
to.
Yeah.
And the truth is, I never, ever would intentionally do anything to hurt anybody in my
Yeah,
entire life.
same.
I stopped. I stopped saying I'm sorry. A lot of people think at this point in time in my life, because I've shut a lot of people out, I have just cut people, I've cut cords. I've just cut cords, period. Even
Same. I
my
have
own
done that.
family.
Same.
Yeah, even my own family. I'm sorry, it's hot in here. Even my own family members, I cut cords.
Me too.
And I literally, everyone's, you don't have a heart anymore. And I'm like, no, I just stopped giving my heart to the people who
Don't deserve it.
don't deserve it or
Mhm.
undeserving.
Yep.
I still have a heart. It's still here.
You're
It's
just
still for
protecting it.
God. It's for God. It's for loving
Yes.
others. But
Yes.
it's not for people who don't know how to treat it. I'm at the point in my life, you don't come correct to me, I'm not there for you, period. And I know that sounds harsh.
No, it doesn't. 'Cause I'm at that point
It,
too.
we have to be. We have to be. You know why? Sweetheart, there's people out there who need us. There's people out there who want us. There's people out there who are crying every single day because they don't have anyone like us.
Yeah.
And if we don't show up for them, and not only them, but you know who else we're showing up for?
Ourselves.
That little girl inside. That little girl inside. Every time, every single time we choose ourselves, that little girl inside of us is saying, thank you.
Mm.
Thank you for protecting me. Thank you for keeping me safe. Every single time. Because it's that little girl that's been treated so bad. It's that little girl who cried. If we broke it down, we would be in a whole big crying session right now.
I
I'm
know,
sure.
because I've been fighting the tears. Just some of the stuff we talked about. Are you being able to see me from way across the room over there? We're not even in the same city. Where are you?
I'm in Tampa, Florida.
See, yeah, and I'm in Houston, Texas. So for you, I've been fighting the tears several times. So yeah.
Like I said, it's a blessing, it's a gift, and it's just getting stronger in me. It really just gets stronger every day. And
Mm.
I thank God every day because I just say to him, what do you want me to do? Whatever it is you want me to do, I'm yours. I will serve you. I will not forsake you. I will be here. I will walk the path. I will go through the depths of hell. I will go through the heartache. I will go through the pain and I will come out still as someone who's a messenger for you. I will
Mm.
keep my pure heart. I will have my pure intentions. I will not care about what anyone else says
Mm.
because my love is for you. My love is for the world. My
Yeah.
message, his message, which is just love and light and forgiveness. Because everything else is noise.
Yeah, it is. It's just noise. Do you have classes? You should have. Do you have offer classes on this energy
Yeah,
that you give out?
no, I not yet. No, I'm
You
working
should
on.
have like group sessions, Zoom sessions online and talk to a group of people like that too, because you give off really great energy and I'm pretty sure you can help multiple people at a time.
I would love to. I'm working on a number of different things right now. Like I said, since I've been out, honest, I again another testimony. Since the day that I chose myself, and I'll never forget it. It was December. I was upstairs. I just had this argument with my ex-boyfriend, and I was upstairs in the bathroom and I was crying my eyes out. My eyes were so swollen. I looked so sickly because I lost so much weight from being in the
Mm.
hospital so many
Mm.
times. Within 3 months, I lost 10 pounds. It was
Wow.
bad. And I was looking in the mirror and I said, no more. I choose myself. I choose myself. And at that moment, something in me changed. I went downstairs and I looked at my ex boyfriend and I said, I'm done.
Wow.
I said, I'm done. And he looked at me and he goes, okay. He goes, okay. He goes, I'm not even going to fight anymore to try to keep you because I don't know why I'm even treating you the way I'm treating you anymore.
Mm.
He didn't even understand why he was acting the way he was. He was like,
Wow.
you don't deserve this. I don't know why I'm doing it.
That's
So
weird.
the whole thing was weird. If
Yeah.
I told you about that relationship, you wouldn't believe it. We were so much in love. Like, we were so much in love. I thought he was my everything. I thought he was going to be one that I was going to be with for the rest of my life. And he
Wow.
thought so too. And he thought so too. So when things started changing between us, it really just everything just changed. And I'm going to be completely honest because I am just an honest person. And I say things about myself that are negative as well because they're the truth. I lost myself in that relationship. I
It
started
happened.
becoming extremely insecure at
Yeah.
a certain point because I found so much love and never have been loved that I was so afraid to lose it.
Oh.
I started having panic attacks to the point where I couldn't even breathe. It was so bad. It was so bad. I became a whole different person. And because of me changing who I was,
It changed him.
it changed him.
Ah, that makes
It
sense.
changed him. And then it changed the dynamic of our relationship, of course. What's so interesting, though, is when I went through the spiritual awakening or was going through the spiritual awakening, I started getting better. I started healing, like from the inside out. I started healing and I started being okay. And I would say to him, when something would happen, I would actually say to him, whatever happens is for my greatest good. I no longer felt that insecurity
Hmm.
because I had so much faith. I had so much faith in God and what God was going to do for me in my life that I was like, okay, whatever happens,
Hmm.
I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to fight. And even now, I say the same thing. If somebody doesn't like me, if somebody doesn't want to talk to me, if somebody doesn't want me in their life, I don't fight it. I don't cry. I don't complain. I don't beg. I don't do any of that anymore because I know God is doing this for a reason.
Reason. Yeah, that's so true.
And normally, 9 out of 10 times, that reason is protection.
That is so true.
So
You-
that's why when I say to you, don't worry about what anyone else thinks, as if they're not meant to go to that next life with you, if they're not meant to go to that higher level with you, that higher version of who you are, who God already created you to be, baby, you don't need them. They're
Hmm.
not supposed to be there. For one
Right.
reason or another, they're not.
That's so
They're not.
true. He removes them.
He,
I don't
he
even have to
does.
remove them. He just removes them from me.
He does. Look at my car accident. Look
Oh
at my
yeah,
car accident.
your husband was removed.
He was removed.
Yeah.
And God made sure I wasn't going back because I went
Yeah.
back. I had already left him and gone back multiple times. One time I was so beaten and my eyes were so swollen, I couldn't even drive. My parents had to meet me halfway,
Oh no.
pick
Wow.
me
That's
up. And I stayed with my parents for about a week and I went right back to him.
oh whoa. Yeah, you were head over heels in love.
No, I was addicted and I was sick.
Ah,
Love played no part in that relationship. That is not love. Love is
yeah,
not something that you have to fear or something that you have to be scared of.
true.
Love
You
is
were too
pure.
young.
I, I wasn't even that young, to be honest
How
with you. I had my daughter when I had
were
my
you like
young
in your oh
I
no,
had
you were
my
like close to 30, right?
yeah, I was 30. I was 30.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you yeah.
Yeah, I guess that is young. Now that I think about it, that is young.
That is
I get
young.
myself, but yeah,
Yeah.
but I left him and God said, no more, Colleen. Nope. We're making sure you're not going anywhere this time. We're making sure that you can't go back.
Yeah. That's what God had to step in. I hate that he had to make something so tragic happen for you to do it, but then it was also an eye opener and life changing for you too in so many ways. So,
In so many ways. I never would have been a teacher. I was literally on my way to being, I was going to become an attorney. I was going to be an attorney. So I would never have been a school teacher. I never would have found the inspiration. I don't want to say never because I think God has a plan. So there probably would have been somewhere along the way. But, and then on top of that, dealing with the trauma of seeing my child go through what she had to go through, because he went to prison when she was 7 years old.
oh, and he's still there to this day because he murdered his wife.
Actually, he just got out a couple of days ago.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. They found her name's Megan Gigante. They found her in the middle of the woods in Apollo Beach, wrapped up in barbed wire, half eaten by all the animals.
Oh my God.
Yep. And they couldn't get him on first degree murder, so they got him on manslaughter.
Oh, okay. He still served quite a bit of time though.
He did. He did. And I haven't seen him. I haven't talked to him. My daughter has. My daughter has. God puts everybody in the place where they need to be for whatever they
Right.
need to do.
Mm.
For all I know, he's a changed man. For all I know, he's got God in his life now. What
Oh,
I
that's
do
good.
know is it protected my daughter
Yes.
at that moment in time, because from the time she was 7 and until, like I said, until now, she's had me.
Hmm. Did
And
you go
she
visit
is
him?
a
Did she
beautiful
visit
soul.
him while he?
So when she was little, it was almost like it was forced, where his parents kept pushing and he kept pushing for her to come and everything else. And
Oh, okay.
I said, nope, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I will not allow that to happen. So I protected her
Oh, that's good.
for years, for years. And then I said to her, because she loved her stepmom, she loved her
Hmm.
stepmom, even though her stepmom hated me with a passion. She loved her stepmom because her
Hmm.
stepmom protected her whenever there would be a fight, which I found out later in life. I found out a lot of things that I didn't know. And she's never been able to grieve her death,
Oh,
because if she did, she'd have to admit that her father did something like this. So I told her as she got older, I said, listen, baby girl, for you to ever heal from this, you have to go meet with him. You have to go sit with him. You have to go in your own mind. You have to figure this out. And so she went to go visit him once, which was only, I think, not even 6 months ago,
hmm. Oh,
for
so
the
she was
very
an
first
adult by
time.
the time she got to.
Yep.
Okay. You
She
waited
was,
till she was mentally strong enough to handle something like that.
yes, she is. And she is the strongest person. She's stronger than I am. She's got more gifts than I do.
Oh, wow.
God has her locked. God has
Hmm.
her locked. Like,
Hmm.
she is a complete angel. She is a complete angel. And my youngest daughter, who, God love her, she actually, I just actually call her my angel. That's what I call her, is my angel. My oldest daughter has always been my baby girl. My youngest has always been my angel.
Oh,
Um, she was a pain in my ass from the very time she was conceived. I can't begin to tell you how many times it was just so difficult, so hard dealing with her. And it's actually been a year since I've talked to her.
your daughter? No.
Yeah, yeah. It's been a year. She made a decision almost a year ago that she didn't want to talk to me or see me anymore at all. And her father, who we won't talk about, is not helping the situation. So
I pray that God steps in that situation and turns her around. It makes her
I
want to
do
talk
too.
to you.
I do too. People, why? And all I have to say is that I fully believe that there's other entities working in this. But I did not want to mention how my oldest is so beautiful and sweet and wonderful without talking about my youngest, because she's also incredibly empathic,
Wow.
and she's gorgeous. She's absolutely gorgeous, and she's brilliant. Actually, my youngest is
Hmm.
brilliant. She's neurodivergent, even though she's never been tested for it, without a doubt. And she's brilliant, absolutely
Hmm.
brilliant. She could do anything if she puts her mind to it. She can
She
do
could
it.
do it.
She can do it. So I'm very blessed to have my daughters. And like I said, I would not change one little thing. I wouldn't. I have a broken finger from being in that abuse relationship. I have scars on my face. There are things that I still deal with, even from the car accident sometimes. I don't care. I don't care. I would not change 1 second of my life, because it has that pain, all that pain, honest to God, has a purpose. And
It does.
God is showing me, He's showing out. He is literally showing out. He is showing me that walk that I walked. And now divinely opening up opportunities upon opportunities, like this one, for instance, me getting to meet you, me getting to
Yeah.
connect with you, a beautiful
Yeah.
soul.
Yeah.
These are
I'm thankful for that
opportunities.
too. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so grateful. These are opportunities that I'm getting now every single day, every single day.
Yeah.
And it's all
Blessing.
because, literally, all because I stayed faithful throughout all the pain. I never wished harm. I've never wished evil. I've never wished revenge.
Mm.
Never. And when somebody goes through the hell, the fires of hell that I went through throughout my life, man, you really are forged the strongest with the hottest of fires.
Mm. I
I
believe.
consider myself a phoenix.
Yeah. And you know what? You don't have to wish anything bad on anybody, because what I've learned in my own experience is God really handles that. Everybody that has actually done something wrong to me, something bad happens to them in their life and in their journey. So
Yes,
I don't
ma'am.
even have to touch a finger. All I have to do is just keep on pressing forward this direction and keep praying and keep being a good person and keep doing right by people. And he
Yes,
takes
ma'am.
care of them. And it sounds like that's what's happened to you.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I love you. I love you.
Same. You have great energy. I love it too. I love it. All right. I know we could talk for hours and hours, because I can see I think we've been on here almost 2 hours. And I have
Really?
not had one interview that long ever since I've been doing the podcasting.
Oh, I appreciate that. I've enjoyed, very much enjoyed our connection.
Me too. I'm gonna keep in contact with you after this. Somebody told me yesterday on Threads, because I had posted something about having gifts to the point to where I can see things, I can feel things, but I don't know how to channel that to where some people just can do it whenever they want to. I'm not that kind. It just comes to me. And I had so many people comment on there saying, and I was asking for tips on that. How do you channel that? How do you know when some people were saying it just comes to you, you'll know when it's your time. If it's for you, then the guides will give it to you. And then the last person that commented today, this morning, said, I could refer you teachers, but that's not going to be the best thing for you. The best thing for you is when you know that God will align it up for you to meet somebody that's on your list. He's just going to align somebody, and you're going to end up meeting them and connecting with them on your own. It's not going to be anything somebody's going to refer you to. And look at this. I just met you today. I didn't know you were intuitive or any of that. I'm just thinking that you just help people that's dealing with trauma, just a therapist. So isn't that crazy?
It
They said
is.
it happens on its own. You just meet people and you're just going to meet somebody.
God will, he does. It really is. If you have faith, honestly, what I have learned is if you have faith and you're pure of heart, two things. You have faith, you keep faith no matter what. Even in the darkest, you keep the faith and you stay pure at heart. My God, he is there. He is
Mhm.
there through everything. He's here with me right now. He's here. He's there with us through everything. And
I
I can
believe.
tell you,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I
You
just
say I can
wanted to
tell.
say, I wanted to tell you there's two things that happen to us. Okay. One is we have intuition, and the other one we have anxiety. And they
Mm,
both feel almost the same. So our fear feels like our intuition at times.
true.
So the way you know the difference is intuition is very calm and peaceful. Fear always makes you think, what if? So always know that as being your like point, your balance point.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, to determine between the two. That makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Thanks for that tip.
You're welcome.
It was a great tip. And when you watch back this video, you're going to see at some point when you were talking about God, there was like a ray in your window just shining through. I didn't even want to say anything. I just wanted to
Yes.
let you keep talking. So when I air this, you're going to see it. It's going to be, I was thinking that's another time I was like, whoa, that is crazy. Because it was just started coming through your window
Wow.
like a beam of light or something. So you'll be able to see that when it plays back. But that
That
was
makes me
amazing.
so happy.
That was amazing, actually. But yeah, so we're going to get out of here. Thank you so much for joining me here today, Colleen, on the Boss Women Network podcast. Hopefully, I'll have you back again. Maybe you'll join in one of the roundtables because I also have roundtables where we have like maybe 4 or 5 ladies that'll chime in and we just talk about different things in life and business and stuff like that. So where we
Oh,
all
I
give
would
an
love that. Oh,
yeah. So
yeah, I'm a firm believer. I never want to be the smartest one in the room. I'll never grow.
okay. I will most definitely, I'll send you an email the next time we have one, and I will
Thank
definitely
you.
include you in the session. Matter of fact, we just had a session right before your interview. We just finished it at 3 o'clock. So yeah, next time it'll probably be, I'm not sure if it's going to be this month. I try to do at least twice a month. I don't have the next one scheduled yet, but I will definitely send you an email and update you on that. It's always on a Saturday at 2 o'clock.
Okay. Okay. Great. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
No problem. All right. Thank you for all that you gave, all the information that you gave. But before we go, tell people how they can find you if they want to connect with you themselves.
Okay. I have a Facebook. It's actually at Colleen Gigante. And I have an Instagram and it's at happiness20195. And I have an email that you can reach me as well. And it's cg2020therapy@gmail.com.
All right. All right. You heard it from Colleen today, guys. She gave so much helpful information. She inspired us. I was inspired. I was almost in tears today listening to her speak about her story and all the things that she's overcame. So definitely that would be a therapist to work with, somebody that's actually already gone through some things, experienced some things, and then came out of it and has the tools to help you go through it and get out of it too. So that is definitely the therapist to reach out to. So thank y'all for tuning in. And until next time, and thank you for joining me today.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I've had a
Yeah,
wonderful time talking with you,
me
and
too.
you are a beautiful soul, honestly.
Same. Thank you. Same with you. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.